A ding 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 along, ding along, ding along do. It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Right, okay. Happy Christmas from Save with Crypto. And I shouldn't really be looking at charts today, but I am. Just can't believe Bitcoin's doing absolutely nothing. It's just literally moving around just a few percent, just like from, I don't know, plus or minus 0.3%, something like that. It's like it's really tiny, just doing nothing. Something big's going to happen, I don't know what it's going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be a big push to the upside. I'm hoping, this is going to be some sort of like Bart type pattern, like an upside down Bart Simpson. It's going to go back up here. It might do, might not. I don't know, but we'll have to see. As I said the other day, I'm looking at this kind of descending wedge like that. So, there's always a chance it can go do that, come back down and wiggle around, and eventually it has more likelihood of breaking up rather than down. So that's what I'm looking at. But God, blimey, it's I remember it was Christmas Day, was it 2 years ago? Yeah, so that must have been around here. And I thought that was incredible because I've been buying Bitcoin down at sort of $9,000. That was my average kind of price. And all of a sudden it was worth 25. And I thought that was amazing. And then it went all the way up to here, all the way up to April of 2021. And that seemed amazing, up at 60 grand. And it came back down to 30 odd. And I thought, that's all right. That's just a dip, and it was, and it went back up again to its all-time high, and then it's been down ever since. I'm pretty sure it'll turn around, very soon. But we'll have to see. As I said, this is very sort of expanded, and even if it did what I've just randomly sketched on there, you're talking about, lows could be like 12.5k, something like that, even down to like 10 or 11 or whatever. And if it does go down that low, I'm certainly going to buy some more, and I probably will use money I had left over from the sale of my house to buy Bitcoin down here, massively against the advice of my brother-in-law, who used to be a banker. so I'll be seeing him later on. So it's all going to be interesting. But I think we're on the verge of things turning around. Now, bearing that in mind, I was looking at all the kind of Elrond stuff. This is ZoidPay USD. I mean, this just looks terrible. It looks like it's died. This blip down here, that was in the summer when the DEX got hacked, and that went down to a hideous level of like less than 3 cents for ZoidPay. I mean, you couldn't actually trade it at that level, but that's where it was. And we're almost back there again now, so that's rubbish. I've been looking at this Ash thing. I'm not even totally sure what it is actually, but Ash looks terrible. That's come all the way down to sort of not a lot at all. And then, of course, if we look at eGold itself, that's rather unimpressive as well. You can see here that the end part is the same as Ash and everything else, but before that it looks even worse because it had the such fantastic sort of price when the DEX launched in November last year. So that was like up here, which is amazing, $537, and we come all the way down all the way down there, 93%. So generally all these kind of assets we've got, like the MEX and the eGold and everything else, even Bitcoin, I'm not selling anything. I'm just hanging on to it all, especially the ones that have nosedived in price. I know this isn't very comforting to the people who've got a load of money on the DEX, and do believe me that this figure here, although it seems quite big, that's a fraction of what it was last Christmas. So do I feel a bit stupid? Yeah, maybe. Am I going to change my plan? No, I don't think so. I'm going to hang on to everything I've got. What I'm not doing is adding extra time to the XMEX that I've got already. So if you look down here, in the locked tokens. You see I've got this lot here, which was the original larger amount, which unlocks on the 27th of October 2026. And then this is like newer rewards that I've taken, which unlock the following month in November 2026. The temptation here would be to go to the energy and then try and add energy there, but that would move the unlock date on 1 month, which I don't want to do. So I'm not going to do that. So yeah, that's my plan moving forward. I'm saying all this because the video I put out yesterday, a lot of the comments were extremely kind of, sad and disappointed and negative. That said, not all the comments were so negative. Staking for Life said, let's hope we see improvements to the DEX going forward. Simplification of process and rewards is needed, in my opinion. The Multiverse X roadmap for 2023 looks good, so that's something to look forward to. Merry Christmas, right? Merry Christmas yourself. This is all true. I mean, the roadmap and all that sort of thing all does look good, all the new stuff coming out. And, as far as simplification of the DEX, I think what we really need is a simplification of like what the actual rewards are, because at the moment you look at the fees pool and it's really hard to know exactly what's coming from where and how often, and those boosted things are kind of like a bit confusing as well, but they're obviously only temporary anyway, so I don't know. I think when it all settles down we'll get an idea of what we're getting. So I think that's what it needs, is the reporting actually being a bit more clearer. Roy's saying they are a great team and ambition is top notch. The more attention it gains, the better for all the supporters, investors, and sure. Roy was saying he wished he'd sold all these eGold at the top. I think we all do, but the thing is, when it's going up to those crazy levels, you think, oh, it's on its way to 1,000. Like we thought Bitcoin was on its way to 100,000, but it wasn't. It's saying it's heartbreaking how much all of our MEX value has declined. I don't mind the overall decline because I knew it was an inflationary token to begin with, and that was part of how it was all going to work, it's part of the tokenomics. The real disappointment is the fact that in the last 2 weeks, it's actually gone down lots more, which means, people who wanted to withdraw from farms suffered impermanent loss, and people who were waiting to get the XMEX, swap it back into eGold, are not getting a particularly good price at all, because the price of MEX is like way down from what it was. So that's not good, and that's what's creating the sort of negative feelings. Bertram's quite happy. Enjoy your content. Okay, cool. Right, if you're enjoying the content, do give the video a like and try and share it with your friends if you can. Somehow, drop a link on Facebook or Twitter or whatever you use. Sikawi Janus says, I converted everything, but to be honest, I'm most focused on buying eGold and staking on the Maiar app to lower my average price as much as I can. Indeed, this is what I do as well. I kind of I tend to sort of get hold of eGold, put it on the Maiar app, and then every now and again when I need a bit of eGold to do something with, I will just go to the earn feature, take off a bit of eGold, and it's it's quite cool. I've got about 300 odd eGold over there. Pommy Ray's saying you can't go wrong with as the big boys have eGold and cannot be let down. I never say never with crypto, because you never know what is around the corner. This Pantelicianu said, I read somewhere that a huge amount of eGold will be released on the 4th of January. Maybe it's better to wait till then and then buy at a lower price if people decide to sell at a loss. I have no idea what that is all about. I'd love to know. If anybody else knows anything about that, please let me know. Stuart's saying, looking back now, being able to farm XMEX for high percentage was probably the downfall. It made supply get out of control, and now they are trying to fix it. I think it was all part of the tokenomics anyway. I mean, I read that initial XMEX tokenomics PDF over and over again, and it was very confusing, to be honest. But I think that was the plan all along. Richard's saying the whole project is a total disappointment. It is overcomplicated. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas yourself, Richard. Well, I know people are disappointed just because the rewards are less, and all them kind of like what seemed to be amazing announcements at the X Day just turned out to be sort of like really quite disappointing just because the percentages are so low. But I kind of had the impression that was going to happen anyway. I didn't quite understand why he had like Lucian Tadeo on stage saying things like, okay, so now XMEX is going to become non-transferable, and then he got like a big round of applause. I didn't quite understand why that was happening. I don't know if they had some people in the audience ready to make the applause for the things that weren't really that brilliant, you know. So I don't know. And also, he got an applause when he said the rewards for meta bonding would only go to the XMEX holders and not to the eGold holders, and he got a round of applause for that. I thought, like, surely half the audience has got eGold, you know, and they're staking it in the Maiar app, you know. Anyway, things like that. I just thought it was all a bit odd, you know. Not glad I didn't go, but I'm glad I didn't spend $500 on a ticket, $100 on the flight or whatever, and then $200 on a hotel, and get disappointed by the lack of like really good news, because, you know, the stuff we wanted to hear was things like the XMEX liquidity with ZoidPay and that sort of stuff. And ZoidPay didn't even have a stand there, I believe, but that was their choice. Anyway, so like, I better go. So I'm just going to wish you Merry Christmas. I will do some sort of update tomorrow. By the way, trading-wise, I think nothing's going to happen today. Traditional markets aren't open tomorrow, so I think nothing's going to happen tomorrow. So I think Tuesday is going to be the day when things start to happen. So I think you could probably almost turn your back on the charts for 48 hours or so. But anyway, famous last words. But I feel something is brewing, and I think it's going to be good. I think we're going to see a turnaround. Anyway, that's my prediction for the new year. But Luke, I'm going to go. So have a great Christmas and eat and drink as much as you want. Do like the video though. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave a nice comment, and above all, tell your friends.